What's up TR fans, and welcome back for vlog 6 of my Disability History Month coverage here on Phoebes Does Technology Reviews, and for the final of my coverage for this year. This is going to be a very quick video because I have a meeting soon to attend, but we're going to be talking about disability representation in video games and other areas in the media and also in theatre. But before I get too far into this video, here's a very quick reminder of where you can follow me on all my sites and where you can also give me a follow if you want to reach out to me over on all my social medias. So if you would like to get involved with spreading the message on how we can make technology accessible for everyone, you can do so by going over to www.technologyreviews.co.uk, where if you have a WordPress site, you can give me a follow. Or if you don't have a WordPress site, you can also give me a follow and give me a wee bit of support by subscribing to Phoebes Does Technology Reviews on YouTube. You can also follow me on my personal Twitter account, which is @PhoebesLyle. And you can also give Technology Reviews a follow on the Technology Reviews Twitter account, which is @TechReviewsUK with a hyphen. I'm also on Instagram, where you can follow me @TheRealPhoebesLyle, and Technology Reviews is on there @Technology Reviews UK, or you can find the Accessible Technology podcast, which is a wee audio series I'm doing at the minute, by going over to SoundCloud and searching for Phoebes Lyle. You can also find a lot of my content on the Facebook page, Technology Reviews, or facebook.com/technoreviews, but links to all of these will be in the description. But now that I've said all that, let's get straight into this video. Representation of people from all different societies has really blown up in the last couple of years in video games and in the media in general, with Tell Me Why, which was released earlier this year, featuring a transgender character. There's also plenty of black characters turning up in gaming, as well as disabled characters, as the new Marvel's Avengers game. So disability representation has come a long way from where it was during the centuries, where disabled people were shown off to the public as fools and as freaks. And although there has been a definite improvement in the media, it's important to note that not everything is brilliant, and there are still cracks. Disability, while the conception of it being a bad thing disappeared in the 1970s, is still largely portrayed by the media as something awful. And although we now have a whole load of disabled characters being portrayed on whole different TV shows and movies. A recent study has found that 80% are played by actors who don't have that disability, and only 22% of actors across different national TV shows and 20% of characters, of disabled characters on streaming services are played by people with that disability. But it's with that point I'm going to get into the disability representation that we see in video games. So starting us off at point number 1 of my disability representation in video game section is disabled access representation and disabled characters. For years, I was limited in the number of games I was able to play, and as I've said in previous vlogs, I was limited largely to just playing Candy Crush and other toy design games. What I liked about the toy design games was that they were easy to get around, even as someone who at the time was using a short stylus. But what I found questionable each time I played them was why I didn't see anything where I could design a building or a town with disabled access. This is something I think the developers of town design games could look into, including now sort of on an educational aspect of it, as well as an entertainment aspect, because it would then teach people who played those types of games what the Disability Discrimination Act has allowed disabled people the civil rights to do, and also would give us a wee bit of facts about the current housing situation as far as disabled people see it. Of course, if those disability things were added into such games, I also think it would be reasonable for different aspects which could teach us about housing if we're from the black community into it. But yeah, I think including both of those angles could help those types of games hugely. Something else I've been thinking of, however, since I started getting into Minecraft again, is how I would love to be able to play as a disabled character that I have customized after myself, and that's mainly what I thought I would get after one of the Minecraft events that was held last year, when they told us about a new feature where you could design a skin to represent your own identity. However, what disappointed me was when I discovered, once the feature was released, that I wouldn't be able to
become a character in a wheelchair, and instead I had to settle with a character which had two withered arms and withered legs. Not exactly what you want, guys, but maybe that'll change in the future.
Then coming in at point number 2 in my disability representation in video game section, we have disability representation in esports games.
So over the last few months, a couple of the games I downloaded onto my phone and iPad were ones which were sporty, and I downloaded a couple of the Olympic Games.
While I was able to use them, what I would like would be for there to be a few games where I could take part in the Paralympics, and that would even show a few of the Paralympic games and allow disabled people who are playing that game to customise the level of their disability. I understand that a problem with what I'm describing would probably be that you likely wouldn't be able to get a character who is paralysed from the neck down, because that is something that isn't even that likely in the actual games. However, even if I could play as someone who is wheelchair dependent, that's enough of my identity that I would be happy to compromise with at least being able to play as a character like that. This is something I would love to talk about more next year as we get closer to the games returning next summer, but also as we debate whether or not gaming should be added into the Paralympic Games as a sport. I think it would definitely be interesting to include a debate, maybe disabled people versus non-disabled people. Would you like e-games to be included as an Olympic sport, because there are a lot of disabled people who describe video games as their only way of being able to drive or to play football, etc. So now that we're finished looking at disability representation in video games, I'm going to be looking at disability representation in film and TV.
Yes, it's mostly disability representation in front of the camera that we want to get sorted. But what about the disabled talent that can also be seen behind the camera? I've been involved with various film and TV productions a couple of times in my career, and I've also studied a TV module as part of my broadcast journalism. What I think would be something good for us to look as far as disabled people operating the behind the scenes equipment would be if we could combine electronics with modern day technologies to see if people with very little movement could actually operate lights and cameras either by voice command or by using an app on a phone or an iPad. This is something I also think could be applied to theatre equipment as well, so that disabled people can get involved with that as well.
But overall, I think disability representation in video games and in other areas in the media and also in film, theatre and TV is heading in the right direction, although we do definitely need to have a conversation. By making all of these vlogs and posting blogs over the last number of weeks to cover Disability History Month, I feel like I have began thinking more of ways that we can get a more inclusive society for disabled people, and who's to say in future that maybe combining both the everyday technologies that are coming out with all different electronic pieces of equipment in theatre and film, we could see more disabled people getting involved behind the scenes as well as in front. But anyway guys, that's all for now, and it's my last update before Christmas on Friday, but you will see me again before the end of the year, because last year I did a Christmas special where I said everything that I got for Christmas, and I think I'll make that a yearly thing on here, although the New Year's special that I also did last year, I think I'm going to keep either to every 5 years or every 10 years. Please tell me what you think I should do over social media or in the comments below, because I definitely take a wee bit of your advice. Also, if you've taken anything from this, then please don't forget to comment your thoughts below, and maybe tell me if there's anything you think should be changed, or if there's any different angle you can give me to stuff. I'd definitely be interested in hearing your thoughts, and don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. But anyway, yeah, that's all for now. I hope you all have a very good Christmas with all of your families, and this is Phoebes Lyle with Phoebes Does Technology Reviews, and the final of the Disability History Month coverage of 2020 with Technology Reviews. Out.